I wish someone made this video before I dropped 250 bucks on the Ninja Double Stack. Like, how can it be that almost every review on Amazon says it's perfect? I don't trust that, and I have a feeling you don't either. After testing over 8 air fryers, saying this machine is perfect just isn't true. So in this Ninja Double Stack review, I'll show you everything I wish I knew before buying it. I'll even show you insider test data you can't get anywhere else on evenness, cooking speed, and crispiness. First, let's unbox this thing in 3, 2, 1. Now, there's one thing about this air fryer that everyone leaves out of their reviews, and if you don't know about it, you can melt this machine. We've got the main unit, which fits under standard kitchen cabinets. This is pretty awesome if you're working with a smaller space. Then we've got these 2 5-quart ceramic nonstick baskets, and it comes with 2 crisper plates and 2 stainless steel racks. These plates sit flush on the bottom and make the food more crispy. The racks sit on top of the crisper plates, so you get an extra 2 layers to cook on. These come in so clutch because they let you cook 4 meals at one time. And here we've got the control panel. Zone 1 controls the top basket and Zone 2 the bottom. Sync or Smart Finish forces both baskets to finish cooking at the same time, and Match copies the settings across all zones. Double Stack Pro is for when you want to cook with 4 layers using the racks. First, you pick a cooking zone and then a cooking mode. If you want to control the time and temperature, just push each button and turn the knob. The crisper plate, racks, and baskets are all dishwasher safe for lightning fast cleanup. And it even comes with a start guide and cooking charts with recipes. But now here's the catch. Other machines like the Ninja Foodi Dual Zone have vents on the top and back. They're not meant to be used under kitchen cabinets, but the Double Stack is. Instead of vents on the top and back, Ninja put them on the right. Great for tight vertical space, but bad for tight horizontal space. Just ask this guy who melted his Double Stack in less than 1 week. The machine needs about 15 centimeters or 6 inches on all sides, and he probably didn't give it enough clearance on the right. Completely avoidable if you're careful, but that's not the only design quirk with this air fryer. Most air fryers have the heating element and the fan at the top. The Double Stack has them in the back to make sure airflow doesn't get blocked. There are holes on the back of each basket, and this is probably Ninja's biggest mistake with this air fryer. By the way, if you want the Double Stack at any point in this video, there are links in the description. I'll keep updated with the best discount. Using these links doesn't cost you a thing, and it helps support the channel. To test out this machine, we're gonna make a big batch of drumsticks, vegetables, and potatoes. First, we're gonna load the first drawer with chicken, then we're gonna load the second drawer with our veggies and potatoes. Pop them in, press Zone 1, set it to air fry for 20 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius or 355 Fahrenheit. Then Zone 2, set it to air fry for 23 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius or 390 Fahrenheit. Hit Double Stack Pro because we're cooking with racks, then sync so both baskets finish cooking at the same time. You can see Zone 2 says hold as it waits for Zone 1 to hit 23 minutes. At 23 minutes, you can see Zone 2 kick on. The first timer went off for my phone, and we need to take out these vegetables early because the potatoes only take 20 minutes, but the vegetables take 12. Here's how they came out. Oh, something that's a bit annoying is that the food can slip through these racks, and the rest is done. Here are the potatoes, and here's the chicken. We'll just slice into one to see how it cooked. Okay, that's perfect. So there you go, a meal for 3 people done in about 25 minutes. But there's just one problem. I only showed you one meal. You probably want to see how it performs with chicken wings, salmon, and veggies, right? So I actually spent more than 41 hours and $2,417 testing the Ninja Double Stack against all the best air fryers on the market. I tested evenness, crispiness, cooking speed, noise, and even energy consumption. And I've got all that data for you, but before I reveal it, there are 3 things every person needs to consider before buying the Double Stack. Now, if you're into making big batches of food, then you'll want to pay attention. With a regular air fryer, you might have to cook in several batches, and after the second or the third batch, you're not saving much time. But the Double Stack comes with 2 giant 5-quart drawers, and they give you these stainless steel racks. You can fit about 16 chicken wings in one drawer without overcrowding, or 32 total. So you can cook twice as much food in half the amount of time versus a regular air fryer. But I think you're gonna like this next part even more. Pretend you're cooking chicken. It comes out perfect, you set it aside, then you cook some vegetables. But by the time the vegetables finish, the chicken is cold. So then you gotta reheat them. You see what I'm getting at here? That's where the Ninja Double Stack Smart Finish or Sync feature comes in clutch. You never have to worry about the food getting cold. And this is probably the #1 reason people have this air fryer on their wish list. How many kitchen appliances do you have in your house? You probably have a toaster, a coffee maker, and a blender, right? And now you're about to get a giant air fryer. In a small kitchen, you're gonna be running out of room. With the Ninja Double Stack, the height is just tall enough to fit under your kitchen cabinets. It saves space, and it's like having 2 air fryers with the footprint of just one. Now, I really like the Double Stack, but there are 3 things that can drive you crazy that nobody talks about. You want an air fryer because you want crispy food that cooks faster than an oven, right? So if you're coming from a single basket air fryer, you might be disappointed by this like I was. And this doesn't apply to the EU model as much as the US version of this air fryer. The US Double Stack has a sticker that shows when you use 2 baskets for 1 pound of fries, it takes double the amount of time. So the US Double Stack cooks so much slower. And while the EU model is much better, it still doesn't cook as fast as some single basket air fryers, which I'll prove to you later. Now, with most air fryers, you just toss in your food, you set a timer, and then you walk away. And maybe you only flip the food once. Well, you can't exactly do that with this air fryer. Remember how I said the Double Stack has the heating elements in the back of the machine? Well, here's where that big mistake comes in. If you block these holes in the back of the baskets, it's harder for the airflow to hit the food. And it's probably why the manual recommends you shake the basket not once, but 3 times for the best results. So with huge batches, you can have unevenly cooked food. And this last thing drives me absolutely insane, and it might do the same for you too. Yes, the parts are dishwasher safe, but the dishwasher has harsh detergents and high heat that can ruin the nonstick coatings on your air fryer much faster. So I like to hand wash my stuff, because if I'm gonna drop over 250 bucks, I want my air fryer to last. Now with a single basket air fryer, you only have 2 parts to clean. With this, you have to clean 2 crisper plates, 2 racks, and 2 baskets. So it takes about 3 times as long. And now, I'm about to reveal my personal data on this machine that you won't be able to find anywhere else on the internet. Why? Because I literally spent weeks testing this air fryer for even cooking, crispiness, cooking speed, noise levels, and energy. And the results might shock you, especially when you see how it stacks up against other air fryers like Cosori and Tyfer. We'll start with evenness. Now, nobody wants food that's crispy on top and undercooked on the bottom. Some air fryers cook evenly without flipping, others don't. So to test evenness, I air fried white bread for 7 minutes on air fry, no flipping. If both the top and the bottom brown evenly, then we know it does a good job of circulating heat. Here's what happened. The top cooked great, but the bottom not so much. If you want better evenness on both sides, this proves that you have to flip the food about halfway with this air fryer. But evenness isn't the full story. Wait until you see what happened when I tested crispiness. It may have completely changed my opinion on this air fryer. If an air fryer can't deliver a decent crunch, what's the point? So I cooked the same 4 foods across every model and used the same time and temperature to test crispiness. Here's what we got. It took 35 minutes to cook these suckers. Here's asparagus. These came out crispy towards the ends. Next up, salmon. There's a decent crust, the center was juicy and perfectly cooked. Now, what good is crispy food if you're sitting there waiting a half hour for it? You don't buy an air fryer to cook your food slower than an oven, right? To test cooking speed, I cooked a 130-gram meatball using 375 degrees Fahrenheit across all air fryers and timed the results. Once the internal temperature reaches 160 degrees Fahrenheit, it's cooked, and the cooking speed was 19 minutes on this. If you're wondering if that's fast or slow, don't worry, we'll compare it against other air fryers at the end. Now, if your air fryer sounds like a jet engine, it doesn't matter how fast it cooks, you'll probably never want to use it. So I put a decibel meter next to the air fryer on full blast. It averaged around 66 decibels. That's a bit louder than a microwave, but totally reasonable. What wasn't reasonable were these annoying beeps. And there's one last thing that most people don't think about when buying an air fryer. Electricity costs can add up fast, and an air fryer that hogs as much power as an oven could cost you hundreds of dollars. To test energy costs, I plugged into an energy monitor for 20 minutes and we got 0.404 kilowatt hours. If you use it daily for 1 hour for 4 years, that's about $300 in electricity costs. Compared to an oven, it can save you about 320 bucks. Here's the final scorecard. I love the capacity on the Double Stack, but personally, I think this machine is overhyped. Between the longer cook times, uneven cooking, and cleanup, I wouldn't recommend it to my mom or a friend. Instead, watch this video so you can put your $250 towards a better air fryer.